Good evening from Bali, everyone. It's Hanifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I thought I would talk to you about a deep concept in the world of spirituality, and I believe in the world of our lives. It's something that we can apply to all of our lives, and I'm hoping by the end of this video you have a tool to work with. And for that, you would need to understand this word that comes up, which is a Sanskrit word, which is Sanskar. Sanskar. So I'm going to read to you the meaning of this word. It says, Sanskar is a very powerful word that originated from the Sanskrit language and has many interpretations and broad meanings. There are two main interpretations of the word Sanskar. First is the behavioral trait or attribute, and second is rites and rituals as per different religions and mythologies. This is interesting. We take this apart and we understand that this sanskars, remember this first one, it says the behavioral trait or attribute. And this is something that we see in ourselves and we can see with other people. And I thought I'd give you an example that, let's say someone brings you a gift and you receive the gift, and right away you're so happy. Like, it's like, wow, someone brought me something. I'm so excited. It's so nice of them. It's so lovely. And you truly are so happy that this gift has been received. And then another person receives a gift, and let's say it's the same gift. And let's say it's a very simple gift, like a cup of coffee. And this is something that is given to you, and you feel thrilled and happy, and someone else receives this gift of coffee, and they're happy, and then they start thinking, I wonder what they want from me. They must want something. And this is a sanskar. So let's say the happy response, with true, genuine, happy response, is probably a trusting personality. It's just like, oh, so nice. It's just a nice gesture. Another that is in a not or less trusting space, or maybe has a bit of suspicion or a little bit of concerns, or any sorts of lower energy vibrations, it's going to be received in a different way. So in that person who is now thinking, oh no, I wonder what they want from me, this is a sanskar. The trusting nature is also a sanskar. So this is, again, interesting in this time in celebrations and festivities in Bali, because there's definitely lots of gifts, and we can learn about ourselves in receiving gifts, and we have all sorts of opportunities to do this. We know that sometimes someone can call us and it's like, oh, I bet they want something, even when we just see their number coming up. And another person can receive a call and say, oh, thank goodness so-and-so is calling me. So it's interesting how our minds interpret things, and our sanskars will be the lens through which we look at everything. So if I am not trusting, and it could be about men, it could be about women, it could be about this particular thing. Let's say it's about money. I don't trust when people involve money in something with me. So I'll pay you for this, feels good, and then I wonder what they want for that. Right? So I could have that non-trusting samskar. Now, you can analyze yourself and see, or at least just reflect upon yourself. I won't even say don't do analysis, because I hear this term, analysis paralysis, or maybe you'll hear this term and I will share this term. We can analyze ourselves so much and really not be able to do anything with the information that we learn. If we're just observing ourselves and understanding ourselves, we can understand ourselves and understand others too. So this was the first aspect, this behavioral trait or attribute. The second, the other behavioral traits, I mean, we can say things like people have to be right, people have to have control, people need to do the transaction of what's in this for me, that sort of energy. So if they do something kind, it's still coming through that same space of, okay, well, when someone does something kind for me, I expect I should give them something back. Or if I do something kind for someone, they better give me something back. So that's a personality trait, a behavior. It's an attribute. So it's a sanskar. And it's also a sanskar for in terms of our friendliness, in terms of our openness, in terms of our sharing, our style of communication with one another. And again, if someone is in a non-trusting space, even if someone has a wonderful style of communication, this wonderful space of interacting from, how it's received from a person who is not trusting or not similar, not on the same vibration, will be from a different perspective of this mistrust. So this is the first part of this definition. Of course, the second part was the rites and rituals as per different religions and mythologies. So different religions, in Bali, it's largely Hinduism. And this is also, it's a Sanskar, because if every year at this time I go to the temple, I go to this temple and this temple and this temple, I go with these friends, or I go with that person, or I make sure I make a trip, or I make sure that before this time is over I do this, whatever ritual I might do, would be part of this Sanskar. Some would say that, well, that's just the custom of Bali, but it could be that I put my full heart into it, or it could be that I go through the motions. And it could be because, I have to be seen well by, everyone has to know that I am doing this and I'm being very good in terms of religion, or I just like going to temples, and it could be from so many different reasons, but these are sanskars that, again, a person can figure out for themselves why they do what they do. Then there's another quotation. I wanted to make sure that you know that this word sanskar is used both in Hinduism and Buddhism, and it's possible in other traditions too, but these two, I thought I'd read this quotation too and help you understand this a bit more. It says samskara or sankhara in Buddhism refers to mental dispositions. These result from past volitions and are causes of future volitions. Sankhara also refers to that faculty within a person wherein these dispositions are formed. Buddhism emphasizes the need to purify dispositions, sankhara, rather than eliminate them. And it's interesting because Hinduism says the same thing. And in fact, if we look at the depth of spirituality from any religious tradition, or even just from a logical perspective, if I see a behavior in myself that I don't think is very good, I would like to eliminate that and come from a pure space of why do I judge this person? I don't even know this person yet. I think because they are, speaking like this, they have this accent, they are this color, they're from this country, they wear this sort of clothes, I have these judgments. And if I chose to actually improve myself, I would work to get over that samskara. Again, this is an individual journey. So it's only when we are paying attention to ourselves to understand what are my samskaras, and am I improving or wanting to improve or choosing to improve, and do I not want to? And let's say we do not want to, we will see that we will notice other people's samskaras. So this person is always so suspicious. This person is always speaking lies. This person is always very generous. This person is always late. All of these are samskaras. And this person is always blaming others. This person is always feeling like poor me, or this person is always thinking of, oh, that awesome me. Anything we can see are certain samskaras. Now, samskaras, notice that these two religions that I'm talking about that use this Sanskrit word also think of multiple lives. And I strongly believe in the idea of multiple lives, but I thought I'd share this idea, which we could think of right within this life to make sense of it. So our interactions with other people are something that I speak about a fair amount and help people learn, certainly in personal visits, but also throughout my naturopathic practice. Same idea of how do we communicate with others has always been a big part of my helping people learn. So in terms of communicating with others, let's say you speak very kindly with a friend. There's a good friend that you have, and you speak very, very kindly, and they always speak very kindly with you too. And then one day, they speak not so kindly. And you think, wow, that's a little different. I wonder if I did something. I wonder if I said something. And often we don't go into the space of, well, they must be going through something. Because oftentimes, we will think of, it's about me. Something has happened with me, with this person, and that's why they're behaving this way. And oftentimes it's because of something else that has happened. Now, occasionally it is with us. And this is why this past life idea comes up, because in this life, it's quite often that our mind doesn't remember the same things that another mind remembers. And I help people understand this in grief recovery too. But in terms of samskara, we can say this Sanskara, this idea of this is my habit, this is what I do. Remember that infants and small children already have habits that differentiate them from other children, even in the same house. So one child can be very sharing, and they get a new toy, and another child wants to play with the toy, and they're easily giving. And another child holds onto it tight and doesn't want to share it. And these are samskaras, and you would think, wow, in the same family, but we'd say, okay, it's personalities. So one idea about this is that past lives have accumulated as energies and sanskars in our minds, and they're carried with us from life to life. So let's say when a person was dying, something was taken from them. So let's say that it was from a burglary in their house, and everything was taken, and then they died. And in this next life, this child might remember wanting to hold on to something that they had in a past life. So this idea of being able to work through that in this life comes through this idea of sanskars. Now, if we think of only this life, again, we can have someone that doesn't interact so well with us, and whether they do it regularly or repeatedly or never have done it before and have done it for the first time, as soon as we hear that, oh, this just happened in their day, suddenly we're so much more understanding, aren't we? That, oh, that's why this happened. And maybe the friend themselves tells us, or maybe we hear through the grapevine, or maybe we kind of assess that, oh yeah, this was the day that they had the really busy work day. Either way, their samskar came through in how they interacted with us, that when they're busy, they speak this way. And our sanskar, and then our karma, is how we speak and how we behave. So even if we are holding on to, boy, I never know what I'm going to get from that person, that's not a high vibration energy. If we can move right into that knowing space of, yeah, anything could have happened in this person's day, and it's not about me, and I'm wishing them well, I'm wishing them ease, I'm wishing them comfort to help them through this moment, help them through this day, help them through this time. This changes our soul power, so it raises our soul power. And you will notice that in our society, in the iron age that we're in, a lot of people do not want to take this effort to do this. And yet, if we do it, we will notice that we will lift our own soul power energy, lift our spirits, and oftentimes lift the other side's spirits without even saying a word, just from our thoughts of going out and wishing this person well, rather than, okay, well, whenever they're over that, then I'll speak with them. So remember this, and this is something that helps us change the world that we're living in when we're consciously aware of what we are contributing to energetically. What often will happen in this situation is we'll now speak to another friend or a family member and say, do you know, they spoke to me like this. I can't believe they did that. Wonder if they're going through something. So even though I'm even asking, are they going through something? Or maybe they are going through something, that makes me understanding. That energy is not helpful, it's not lifting, not for ourselves and not for anyone else. Now there's another person that's also involved in the same energy, which is also contributing to their own unease, as well as the original person who was speaking not well when we think not well of a person. Even if it's out of curiosity or worry or concern, we're adding to their lower vibration energy. So today I would love for you to reflect on that and recognize that we have the power. Our soul power helps us be understanding and compassionate and loving and generous in our actions, our thoughts, our words, our behaviors, everything. And yet, oftentimes we'll go into, well, they're so not like me. I wouldn't speak like that, even if I wasn't having a good day. So ego from my side of, I'm so much better than that person. Or I can just think not well about that person, that, they're just not good. They've always been that way, and they'll always be that way. They'll never change. All of those thoughts are adding to that person's experience continuing to be the same. So our experience continuing to be the same from them, other people's experiences, which means that we're contributing to quite a network, a web of energies. This is what we call entanglement, that we then allow all of that energy to happen because we have contributed our part through the karma that we played. So today I also wanted to end with this quotation to help you keep in mind when you see differences, what to think about, and perhaps this will help you. It says, opposite values are complementary. Thorns and petals both exist. you have the choice to pick up either the thorns or the petals. To pick up either the thorns or the petals. Now, you know, consciously, all of us would reach for those petals, and we wouldn't be reaching for thorns. But let's say we've held the whole flower. We see this rose, we pick it up, and it's like, wow, okay, it's got the thorns and the petals. But, oh, that thorn hurts, and oh, maybe I should just put this down. We try to avoid all the good to avoid the not so good in this flower, this rose. Let's think of it as a rose. So this is, again, this thorns and petals. And again, let's say we even took just the buds. So we just take a bud of a rose bud and we hold on to it. And we're only focusing on petals now, right? Maybe sometimes we can say, wow, that thorn really did hurt me. That was really, really strong. And we can do this for hours about, I know they're a really good person, but you know, they do this. And if we are in that space, not only are we not building our own soul energy, we are decreasing the energy of all around us. If we can focus on the petals in any moment, good or not good, in terms of our perspective, because we're working from our own sanskars too. From this perspective, if I feel like I'd like to lift people, I like to help people, then I need to be mindful about what is the energy I'm putting out there with my thoughts, and let's focus on petals. And let's pick up those thorns and recognize that it's part of us too. We're all roses. We're all a bit of both, yin and yang. And let's focus on the petals. Let's focus on the petals. Let's grow this golden age. This is what I leave you with today. I hope today you will find some opportunity to practice this when something not easy is happening, whether it's a situation, it's a person, it's an experience. Focus on the petals. I wish you a fabulous day or night ahead, and I hope you remember to transform your mind and transform your life. Have a good day, everyone.